Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes, and welcome to a discussion on how to play trills on the saxophone. Everything we talk about in this tutorial applies equally to the soprano, alto, tenor and baritone saxophones. For ease of view on the camera, I'm going to largely demonstrate on the alto saxophone today. It's just easier for you to see what I'm doing on the screen size, but I will duplicate some of the trills on the tenor saxophone just so that you can see and hear that the concept applies equally on all of the different saxophones. A trill is a musical term that is defined as a rapid movement between two notes. Now normally the movement is between the note that you want to trill from and the next note above it in the scale of the key of the song that you're playing. So for example, if you were playing in the key of G major and you were on the note B, say the third line B, and the music had TR above it, which is the abbreviation for trill, the normal note that you would trill to would be the next note up higher in a G major scale, and that of course would be C natural. So the trill that you would play would be from the B natural to C. Now on the saxophone, that is a really clumsy fingering, a very, very difficult fingering, remembering that the definition of a trill is a rapid movement between the two notes, like this. A very fast movement. Now you might have guessed that I didn't use that conventional fingering to play the rapid trill that I just played between B and C. So what I want to do in this tutorial is keep it brief, and I just want to introduce these three keys on the right hand side of all of the saxophones. The soprano through to the baritone all have these three right hand side keys, but they're also called trill keys for a good reason. The bottom key converts a standard A fingering to an A sharp. So if you had to do an A to A sharp trill, you would hold your normal A fingering like that and then rapidly move your right hand index finger on the bottom of those three side or trill keys. The middle key converts a B natural to a C, and that's what I used just a second ago when I did that fast trill between B and C natural. I held B up here and wiggled my index finger rapidly on the middle of those three right hand side keys. And finally, the top key is called the high E key because it converts D sharp with the octave key on. So if we play the normal high D palm key and the high D sharp palm key, and to play high E we apply the top of those right hand trill keys to the standard high D sharp fingering, and we get the high E. But that is also how we do a trill from high D sharp to E. Let me just demonstrate those three trills for you, the most fundamental trills on the saxophone. A to A sharp, B to C, and high D sharp to high E. You would have noticed during the trills that my right hand position changed from the traditional grip on the keyboard like that to an extension of my fingers in a straight line pointing out from the saxophone. The idea is that these three side keys are actually played by the edge of your index finger. So it's your index finger that's being held straight. The side of your index finger is engaging with those three trill keys, never the tip of the finger. So it's a different technique than our standard fingering on the keyboard of the saxophone. Now just one final trill to add to this tutorial, And that is to use the bottom A to A sharp trill key in combination with the auxiliary high F key. So high C, octave key on, normal C fingering, stretch up to the auxiliary high F, and then you can trill from that auxiliary high F to F sharp. So if your saxophone doesn't have an F sharp key on it, this is a way you can play F sharp, and I've explained that on how to play the altissimo notes for the saxophone. But it's a very easy trill from high F to F sharp if your saxophone doesn't have a dedicated high F sharp key. And I'll just demonstrate that trill for you now on both the alto and the tenor saxophones. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and that it's been beneficial for you. We've only looked at 4 specific trills in today's session. There are many other fingerings that you can apply to great effect on the saxophone when you're playing a rapid movement between 2 notes. Remember, a trill is simply that, a rapid movement between any 2 notes. So we'll explore some further options in other tutorials. Until then, keep in touch via my website. Drop me an email if you have any fundamental questions about playing the saxophone, and make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's the best way to keep up to date with all of the latest videos that I load for the many instruments that I play and teach. Bye for now.